Hi, I'm Jason Wilson, Gray Town Council, and I'm going to do a series of brief videos on the 2019 budget. It's created a lot of interest for the citizens, and this is going to start off with the state of Gray and a brief historical summary. So, our financial overview: we have an excellent credit rating, AA plus from Standard & Poor's, which is very strong. Moody's rated us of high quality. Our credit rating is equal to Yarmouth and superior to Cumberland and Wyndham, but we have depleted savings and a capital improvement fund has been spent. So how did it happen? Well, in the late 70s, we had a water pollution problem, which resulted in the Superfund site in Gray. So that generated some overreactive zoning, which was understandable. But in the 1980s, we had 4-acre minimum lot sizes passed in the village. So you could only have 10% of 4 acres was allowed to be covered with a building or pavement. That zoning created a lot of non-conforming lots, and existing businesses could not grow or make improvements. And there was lack of consistent application of those zoning standards, which created uncertainty in the business community. Then in the 1980s, under the Reagan administration, there was a movement to restore and reinvest in America's downtowns. The town of Gray's zoning and allowed uses for the downtown village area was in serious conflict with this national movement to revitalize downtowns. That kind of bumped us out of the ability to do any funding. Then in 2004, Governor Baldacci had an executive order to revitalize downtowns, and he actually formed a main downtown center. But again, we had issues with our zoning and allowed uses. So I was looking at this picture. If I had to guess, that person in the carriage with a horse is looking for a place to park. But it points out the fact that we have world-class innovative science and technology businesses in the village with gravel driveways and similar to this 1909 picture and parking lots. So some businesses in the past got to pave their parking lots. That inconsistently breeds uncertainty, and the market in the village declines. So central planning government mandates. So armed with the central planning government mandate, there was intense political pressure to revitalize Gray Village for about 38 years. And recently we had the Gray Village Master Plan. One of my favorites is the Gray Village Forest Management Area. I'm still looking for the forest. Can't see it through the trees, I guess. And we had the Southern Maine HUD pilot program, Bike Ped, Village Area Loop, Hand Clock Master Plan, Monument Square, to name a few. So during the 80s, the restrictive zoning uses caused a bit of desperation for property owners, so they had to keep financially viable, so they adapted. We ended up having a bar deli in the village that was a biker hangout, and it burned down in the 1980s and resulted in a new building complex in Monument Square area. We actually had this type of dilapidated buildings with plywood covering windows in the village. So central planning success? No. So currently every classic New England American downtown village business is no longer in the village. Hardware stores, pharmacy, grocery stores, bakeries, non-chain coffee shops, post office. 3 classic restaurants, bakeries, and coffee shops did open and close during this period. The Village Kitchen, the Loving Spoonful, those probably spark a memory with a few citizens of Gray. Recent development in the village. They did like the walkability plan of the village, hence by their connection to the sidewalk. Other positive development that did occur in spite of all the constraints: the Hancock Block 1 Gray Center building is beautiful. Monument Square got moved, and that eliminated a gas station. And there are building complexes on Monument Square, and now there exists some restaurants and some shelf space for additional businesses. That concludes this part of part 1 of the State of Gray. Thank you so much.